Good morning, everyone. Welcome once again to Presence of Light with Charlie Riverman here on Humanity Healing. And bless you all around the world who tune into Humanity Healing and my talk. It's always a joy to awaken in the morning and not have an idea of what I'm going to say. And then within minutes, it starts to flow. This is a gift. Good morning, Gloria. And this is a gift that each of you have as well if you come back into your own loving energy. And that's what today's topic is about. It's about loving energy. And it began yesterday in a Global Hearts team meeting, which I write poems for. And and when I wrote the poem, it was about loving energy. It was entitled Without Loving Energy, which I will read to you later. The key was really how we live in a world right now where loving energy is being diminished and squashed and hidden beneath aggravation, distortion, lying, cheating, stealing, all of these attributes that humans have adapted over thousands of years. This is not something new, and they've been doing it for thousands of years. And the problem now is it's reached a crescendo where it's almost impossible to see somebody who isn't doing that. Show me the person who isn't doing that. I know that enough are doing this. Um, that's not going to help anybody to know that they're doing it. Bring them to justice and send them on their way. And let's find people with credibility. Let's people find humans with honor and presence and love in their hearts to um, shift the energy, shift the energy into a more loving energy rather than a sort of a free for all grab bag uh, world. Those are my personal opinions. You do not have to agree with me, but I look at it and I realize that to sit and just argue about it or stress yourself over it is what it does. This is cuts down my ability to love others, and it's so unconscious how it happens that we're not aware until somebody puts it in our face. And it could be a family member, it could be uh, a husband, a wife, a good relation, a child. And they just wake up one day and say, I've had enough of your attitude and the way you look at the world and how you this conspiracy theory issue is ridiculous. It doesn't matter. It's been there forever. And stop trying to label things and say, what can I do in my own personal life that doesn't align with these things that I'm expounding on? If they're bothering me that much, why am I spending so much time on talking about them, on uh, trying to find more information on them? It's almost as if we're digging a hole in the ground looking for gold, and we have to go through mush and marsh and rocks and lava, and we're obsessed with this world that is um, my message is caving in on itself. And that's what's happening. So it's like we're having the message is you're having a global heart attack. uh, so good morning, Margaret. Good morning, Lily. So that's my guides who have a strange sense of humor, but they're not here in physical form, so they don't have to deal with this. I learned that a long time ago. So loving energy is really the topic. And each one of us have this great ability, if you will, to see the world from a different position within ourselves. It has nothing to do with what's going on around us other than we are in that environment. Okay. So if we look at ourselves and our own physical body, here's the outer shell of our body. But inside this body is a whole living process, much like Mother Earth, much like the world around us. So what's happening on the outside affects us inside only because it carries an electromagnetic energy. The world is filled with electromagnetic energy. Okay, we can harness that. There are people now working on things like that to reduce the toxicity of the way we get our power now. And it can be done, and it will be done, because if we don't, we're just going to destroy the planet and keep pointing the finger at he did it, she did it. So loving energy really is the key, or at least that's how I'm seeing it. It's the key to shifting our consciousness into a place that is more apt to find a solution for our own situations, individually as well as collectively. I always like, if you've got three people thinking the same thing, you've got a powerhouse of energy focusing on that. I work in a group where there's now 5 of us, and we're writing a book, and the 5 of us are writing this book together. It's not, well, I'm going to do chapter 1 and chapter 2. No, we go over this and over this and over this and over again, and each one of us puts our energy into that as a whole, and we come in coherence. There's a coherence in this group, and that's what we're writing about. We're writing about what we do as dowsers, but we're also explaining that any group of people can function in an amazing way when they come into their heart resonance. And that's part of what I'm talking about here today, is loving energy, heart resonance. To me, I look at those as a togetherness. So each of us, whether you feel it or not, have a greater ability to love one another than we understand. We've been taught what love is through many avenues and many teachings and many stories. And some of them are very beautiful and very accurate. And then others are a misdirection. They're a distortion of what love is. And we've become fascinated with the distortions rather than the realities of what love can do, the power of love. So silently, when we sit here and send loving energy to each other, we don't see anything happen. Okay? But what's happening is we are tuning into the electromagnetic field of ourself, the electromagnetic field of Mother Earth, and the person or persons we are sending it to. When it leaves our conscious mind and is driven by the heart, it flows in a constant rhythm that's passive, but it's powerful, it's peaceful, it's calm, it's loving, it's kind. This is what we do when we love our animals. We can love our animals because they can't speak to us, really. If they could speak to us in English and tell us what they thought, I don't know if we'd be so pleased with our animals. But we can stroke them and they feel that love. And if it's a cat, it will purr. If it's a dog, it may roll on its back. It wants more. What does it want? It's wanting that feeling of love. That's what it's about. It's an energy. Love is an energy that we produce. Our heart produces. I can't say there's a science behind this that I'm speaking about, but I'm looking at it from uh, my higher level and my guidance. So we can silently send loving energy to everything, whether it's a human, an animal, or a part of Mother Earth, to the heavens, wherever you want to send that energy, because it's an energy. It's not just a thought. It's not just a fantasy. It's not just an imagination. When we send love, when we truly manifest love to send somebody, we are creating an energy field. And we live in that energy field. But right now, we've got it surrounded by steel and concrete so that we don't get hurt. So the key is to open the windows, open the doors of your heart, of your intention to send love, and do it. See what happens. Sure, there are times it's going to come back and slap you in the face, but that's the lesson. Why did I send it? Who did I send it to? Did I send it with an expectation? So when we send love, or when I send love, there's no expectation. It's love that I have within my heart, and I send it to each of you and the whole world whenever I send it, without conditions. Unconditional love. And we can do that silently, constantly, anywhere we are, whether we're at our home or in a busy traffic jam or a concert. You can still take yourself and remove yourself from that energy field that you're in and reach into your heart and send love. In the craziest situations energetically around you, love is always available. Always. No matter what is happening to you. You know, that sounds preposterous, and I can't justify it scientifically, but I'm sure there is somebody who can. In the same way, Mother Earth is continually sending the energy of love to us. She nurtures us. She gives us food. She gives us the opportunity to live here. That is her love to us. There's a reciprocity. What we've done now is created a mixed bag where we are no longer returning the love, so it's out of balance. You all know how it's out of balance. We're draining her waters, we're poisoning her things. We're taking things out of her that are natural, part of her physical beingness and wellness, and we're making her sick as well. The difference is that Mother Earth, and she's done it before, can decide to shut down and heal, which means that all of us on the surface are going to disappear. We're going to vanish, if you will. And you look at all the ancient civilizations, we're still finding them. And they're getting older and older and older than all our history has taught us. So this is not new. This is a process. I look at it as when we take more than we give, especially in the case of love, we create how do I want to call this? It's not, it's a vortex, but it's like it's a black hole. It's like a black hole and everything goes into it. So for all of us, the good news is love is always available as long as our heart is beating. Why is the heart associated with love? Because the heart is like a generator. It's a generator of electromagnetism, if you will. The way it works is an energy field. The way it connects to the brain is an energy field as well as just a bloodline. Okay? It connects to your whole body on a neural network. What has happened with this COVID for me, my neural network is a mess. I have brain fog. I have sleep apnea, a lack of oxygen. How can I have lack of oxygen when I'm breathing constantly? Something happened in my body that shut down the ability to take the oxygen and spread it through my body. So this is all part of the heart. It all comes from the heart. I don't have any heart issues per se that have been tested out. But the reality of how it affects us on such a micro level that when we distort the energy field within ourselves, and that's what a lot of diseases do, they distort the energy fields within us. And from that distortion, all of these things happen. So it's not so much that a certain medicine can't heal it, it's that the medicine doesn't have an effect on the electromagnetic field of it. And I'm playing with this myself. I'm my own laboratory. So what we're learning is the key for all of us is our ability to create. We are creator beings. And in that creation, if we can't create love, we're going to continue to fail in the future generations. We are setting up a pattern of failure. And failure becomes a common thing, and everybody just accepts it. The time right now is to stop accepting failure, especially failure within yourself. At any level. I don't know what you're going through. Only you know what you're going through. I have people that talk to me, write to me, and you know, we can bring things to awareness, but if you don't do anything about it or trying to work with it, it's still there. Because each one of us, it isn't somebody else that's going to cure me. I don't need a cure. I just need to come home and understand that within myself and within yourself, you have more power than you have ever imagined. You have more power than you have ever been taught or told. We call it the God self. We call it all kinds of different names. Throughout the history, it's had different names. It doesn't matter what we call it. It's an energy field that is within us. It generates around us. And you can feel somebody that doesn't have a good vibe just by within 3 feet of each other. You get that feeling. You say something's wrong. This is how sensitive our physical beingness is. And that's what we got to focus on, is how do we tap into that and learn what it's telling us, and then act upon that in a positive way which brings positive energy to everything in the field around it. It's not going to be a medicine. You are the medicine. And so we are creators. We will create this. The creation we are doing is electromagnetic fields that have more power than you can imagine. They're like a tidal wave that has been narrowed down to only a small trickle that isn't even noticed. But that tidal wave is within you. It's there. It's always there, ready to occur. When we think of a tidal wave, we think of damaging. But if you look at, sometimes you look at how it wipes away something and regenerates life there. It doesn't have to have a reason, but that's the process. It's taking something old and shifting it around, destroying what has corrupted it, and now giving it an opportunity to begin again. That tidal wave needs to happen within us. And the connection that we have to this electromagnetic field can't be taken from us until we die. However, it can be distorted. It can be manipulated. And when we look at all of the electronics that we're living in now, and now we're going into an electronic mechanical thing that's going to run on power, that if it doesn't have power, it can't, and that's artificial intelligence. And we're going to start believing artificial intelligence. And who knows what our artificial intelligence is going to do for us? We don't know. It can be positive in many ways, and it can be negative in many ways. And those who choose to use it for the negative will use it for the negative. Those who see the positive, but where does that leave us to? Right back to this conspiracy theory business. Theory. It's all theory until we witness it and learn how to use it. Everything is a conspiracy. A conspiracy is just, I rule the world, and whatever you're saying that is going to be against my ruling and my power is going to be called a conspiracy. When we were little kids, we used to call each other liars. Liar, liar, your pants are on fire. What's the difference? This is adult childhood. We've resorted back to children who need attention. And we're willing to do just about anything in the world to do it. Even become the leaders of nations and act like complete nitwits. Take a look around. I don't trust any of them. I wouldn't get in the car with any of them. I'm not sure any of them can drive. To be honest with you, we've lost faith in humanity. We've lost faith in ourselves. Faith in God, I'm sure you're probably fine with faith in God. But that part of God is you, that creator being, however you worship or look at it, is in you. It's in your molecular structure. I don't mean to peck at you. Apologize for that. But it's, the key is our ability to create. We are creators. We are co-creators. In order to give birth, you have to create. You need masculine and feminine. Yes, we can do it in a laboratory now. I'm quite sure that we don't even need humans anymore. And yet we're having this big row about things that are not what's important. They're distractions. And the more we focus on the distractions, the harder it is to come back home into our own heart resonance and that electromagnetic field and start to generate, get the generator going and broadcast. And that's what I'm really talking about, is each of us are a living harmonic frequency. And it reaches out from our hearts and it creates an attractor field that allows us to communicate, not just with each other, but what we are truly feeling within us in any given moment. If we can come to the point where we trust ourselves and allow ourselves to feel it. So love is a harmonic frequency. It's a harmonic frequency that reaches out from our hearts and creates an attractor field that allows us to communicate what we are feeling in every moment. The quote by Dr. R. Kurt Ebert that I found that relates to this, and it says, attractor fields define our lives. Emotions attract like emotions, like behaviors, and like outcomes. It's a powerful message. We are attractor fields, which tells us that when things are going right or wrong, we are calling that in at some level of not consciously. We do it consciously, but we say, I can't be attracting the negative, yet we are. And it's not because we choose to, it's because we can't see that it is happening and convert it back to positive energy. So we're always going through the cycle. Positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. The positive is in the heart. It doesn't create the negative. Here, the brain creates the negative energies. And it feeds back through the heart. What is the most common cause of death? I smile, but I mean, it's really simple. The heart stops beating. Doesn't matter how. It doesn't matter why. But when the heart stops beating, life ends. It's that simple. And there's thousands and thousands of ways that can happen. So when we come back into our hearts and honor that as the living source of this physical structure, just on a mechanical basis, why are we doing things to ourselves and others that are distorting that? Think about it. Think about in your life how it happens. Not intentionally, but gradually the world around us, our relationships with people, it happens. It's a lack of conscious awareness and living in a world of avoidance of our, how do I say it, psychological traumas that occurred from within the womb to where we're sitting talking right now. So it's coming back, the inner process begins to ignite a feeling of wholeness. And when we feel that wholeness, begin to feel wholeness within ourselves and learn to trust it, then we can trust it and open it up and share it with others. And yes, we're going to get slapped around and hurt at times. But to know that you have the power, no matter where you are, to overcome that. Shift the energy from the negative. It's magnetic to positive. Yeah, you know, this is what it is. We are the generators. We have that power within us. We need help sometimes. We need guidance. But the key is, the bottom line, if you don't do it, nobody else can do it for you. All of this, when our inner process begins to allow our negative feelings to overcome us, we go into a dive. Harmony within our hearts charges the electromagnetic field, sends it to the brain, which in turn helps us to function a greater capacity and balance. The key, the final thing before I read my poem to you, the key to all our future generations is to learn more about our heart resonance and understand how it's so much more than we have been taught to believe. And places like HeartMath and other studies are just amazing and offering gifts to us to track it, to work with it, to see it as a reality, not just a story or a fantasy. And this talk was triggered by this poem I wrote yesterday with the Global Heart team. And I think I've belabored you to listen to me long enough. And so I'm going to read this to you and send you my heart, my blessings. It's called Without Loving Energy. Without loving energy, we are empty and constantly looking for wholeness. Let us pause for a moment and take a deep breath. As we pause for only a moment, there is a pulsing that allows us to breathe and live here silently. Send gratitude to that constant heart rhythm. This energy that it creates and emits and connects not only what is within us at all levels, it connects us to the world wide web of all living things. Remove any boundaries you may find arising. Send out your love without fear to experience. to experience the power you truly have within and around you. Without living, without love energy, you cannot say, I love you. I love you. I thank you. I respect you. I am you. You are me. We are unity. One heart. One love. Forever. Bless you all. Thank you for your time and your listening. My prayer is that out of this, a few words caught your attention, will help to focus you looking at yourself from a different perspective, knowing that you are not helpless. You are not alone. The world is not against you, and that each of you have an amazing gift within your heart that we are awakening through all of this chaos we're going through. There is an awakening within us. And let us offer that assistance to the future generations. Bless you all. We'll see you next week. Love you all. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Radhika, bless you, dear heart. Nice to see you here. Yes, and thank you all. And share it with other people, and know that I post these on my Facebook page, and I have a website, not a website, but a YouTube channel that it gets posted on. Sometimes it's a little later, depending on my schedule. And I also have a blog where it gets posted. So yeah, if you want more information about Charlie Riverman Bergeron, just Google the name. It'll appear. I do this from my heart to yours, and every time I do it, it's been about my teaching as well. It's not, I have these guides that help me, and they're the ones who really are behind the impetus behind me to share this wisdom. Bless you all.